Hola, everybody. So good to see you over here. Jorge, how are
Hola.
you? ¿Qué tal?
Eh,
How are you?
Bien, gracias. Is this in Spanish or English?
Damn, it's in English. We have to in English
Okay.
today.
Today, English. Good.
Just today, just for today.
Just for today. How are you doing?
Oh, doing fantastic. Cannot wait to have some of that beautiful intro music. So let's get some music going.
Let's go for it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this new episode of Spanish Loops. This is Frank Laria from Traveling Steps, and in front of me, I have Jorge Roman for travelingwithjorge.com.
In front of you virtually, Francisco.
Virtually, hey, virtually, you're in front of me, you're in front of the camera, so you're there.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hello,
Hola.
hello, hello. So, today we were talking about Spain and Spanish diet and Spanish food and all of these. Spain is one of the countries in the world that we consume more fish
hmm
in the world. We eat a lot of fish. It's a huge thing in our Mediterranean diet. But the Mediterranean is only one part of Spain. And strangely enough, one of the things that a lot of people don't know, it's that the largest market, fish market in Spain, it is in Madrid. And it's not just the largest fish market in Madrid, in Spain. It is the second largest fish market in the whole world.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. It's called Merca Madrid, and that's what we're going to be talking today.
And
Merca Madrid.
yeah, America Madrid. That's right. And many people might say right now, okay, which is the first one? Which is the first one? Tokyo.
Okay, there we
Tokyo,
go.
obviously, right?
Obviously.
Tokyo is the largest fish market in the whole world, and believe it or not, Madrid is the largest in Spain, in Europe, and it makes the city of Madrid the second largest fish market in the whole world. Okay,
And this is one
so
of those issues that is like, fish market in Madrid.
yeah,
It's not by the Mediterranean. If you don't know where's Madrid, it's exactly in the center of the peninsula,
yeah,
the Iberian Peninsula.
yeah.
So,
I mean, geographically, it's located in the center of the Iberian Peninsula, not Spain, the Iberian Peninsula. That includes Portugal as well. And yeah, I mean, that is, I don't know, maybe coincidence of several factors along the history. But there is a little curiosity here that in the old days, when Madrid was just, and the fish was only affordable for those who could pay for it, because, I mean,
mhm.
if we go back 70, 80 years in Spain, the roads were, oh my God, there was a disaster, almost no network. There was a network, but I mean, it would take ages, right? The flights were not so frequent as they are now. The roads and the railroads as well, they were, I mean, we were in the 18th or 19th century when the railroad was invented, and it was really bad. So those who could afford to buy fresh fish, they had to be delivered specifically to the fishmongers that they were selling them in the city. And there is a tradition that you hear, especially in the central part of Spain, because it used to take like 2 or 3 days to arrive the fish to the city. People, just in case that the fish had a little bit of a strange odor, they used to put,
Yeah.
once cooked, lemon, squeezed lemon on top of it, just to,
I
yeah,
didn't know that was a tradition why we put lemon on it.
yeah. Didn't you know that was tradition?
No, 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 I didn't know it was
Yeah,
the,
that's the
that's
tradition. Yeah, yeah, yes, that. But yeah, I mean, the heart of Madrid's seafood tray is inside of that Merca Madrid. Merca Madrid is not only fish; it's just anything that you could imagine could be sold at any store. Is where you can go. You can go and buy them. It's a humongous. It's like a city on itself. 45,000 people works in there. Forty-five
I mean,
thousand people. Yeah.
that's a lot of people working
Yeah,
there.
yeah. But now we're going to focus today only in the fish section, okay? So if where it comes from, it comes, I mean, it comes from all over Spain. I mean, don't forget that we are surrounded in the Atlantic in the north and northeast, northwest, sorry, southwest is the Atlantic as well, and then all the Mediterranean. So we have a lot of kind of species that comes in here, and some of the best catches from all over the world, because Spain, the fleet that catches the all species in there is no actual census. We're talking about 2021, just after the pandemic
The
year,
pandemic.
2020, right? And we were cataloged as the third largest catching fleet in the whole world. So we had the catching fishes in North and South Atlantic. Also, they went to the Australia in the Mediterranean, of course. And also we have a kind of an agreement, although most of the agreements are from the European Union, okay? They are um, regulated in a way, but we have a special agreement with Morocco, the same as because of the proximity, the local
Mhm.
proximity, okay? But anyway, just because of that, what happens? Okay, we there is something very peculiar when we said that you can go. Remember I said that before?
Yeah. Who can go? I mean, the question is, can I go as a human, or do I have to have a shop, fishmonger, or who can buy in this
That's
market?
right. That's correct, Francisco. You just made the correct question. I mean, you cannot go in there if you don't have a license to sell
Oh, okay.
fish. Okay, so
Oh,
you have to have a um, how you call it, a shop,
yeah.
a fishmonger, right? Or maybe a stall in the market, or just a little premises that you sell your fish. And also, you can go with somebody if you don't have a
Okay.
license. That other person has to have the license, but they make you pay a fee to go
Okay.
in. I don't know if it is about 13 euros just to go in as a visitor, and they give you the badge, okay? Visitor. So you have to wear the badge, it's compulsory, and you cannot buy anything in there. Another thing is that you tell your friends that's taking you there has a
Buy
fish.
that one
Oh,
for me.
yes, buy that one for me, okay?
Well, that looks good. What about
Right.
restaurants? Can a
Oh yeah,
chef?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not okay. So,
Restaurants. When I say the premises is uh, fishmongers, restaurants, hotels,
oh, okay, okay, okay.
catering food companies. Yeah, anyone that
Okay.
deals and they can buy in a wholesale way. Okay. So now timing,
Okay.
timing.
What
Okay.
time do they open? I mean, because here, my fishmonger here in Pamplona,
Yeah.
she always says, we open the shop at 8:30 in the morning, but we need to go to the market here because obviously it comes from Madrid to here to the market here in Pamplona, and the shops in Pamplona buy to the one, and they say they have to go quite early in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the action actually begins before midnight.
Okay, so it's not early; it's late at night. Oh my! So really?
Yeah, I mean the peak of the activity here in Mercamadrid, it could be around, I would say 3 a.m. That is the peak. That's when everybody wants to get the fish totally fresh that's being brought into the city either by trucks. Okay, so let me get you into a situation. You own a boat and you
Mhm.
do your fishing, and then you come to port to the dock, okay, and then by the water, and then you just sell that to Madrid because there is a wholesaler that has bought your catch of the day, sorry, and they want it. So it comes, I would say the longest by road, the longest truck that could take a big of those trucks to deliver, it could be 7, 8 hours. But there are some specific locations that they use airplanes. And in fact, there are cargo planes that they fly only at night, and the catch can come also from the airport. Obviously, a plane cannot carry as much as 3 or 4 trucks. I mean, 3 or 4 trucks, you can get 100 tons,
Yeah.
right? But a plane is not going to be just for the fish. It's going to be cargo plane includes absolutely everything. So imagine there is like about 100, more than 100 companies established in Mercamadrid, and well, there is like about I think it's just under 200 sales points. I'm talking only about fish. Let me insist about this. Just fish. Imagine any other products,
Yeah. So
whatever you may think, but just about anything that comes from the ocean, from the waters, from the Mediterranean, and from the Atlantic, and from the near Australia as well. We have boats sailing down there.
wow.
So there is an average of visitors in between 3,000 and 5,000 per day just to the fishing
Fish
area, the
market.
fish market.
Wow.
Okay. So, and though some of those are distributors as well. Okay. So, Madrid is a hub of seafood trade to me, unlike any other. I have been there twice, and I can tell you the tanks that they have. It is just absolutely incredible. Um, Guess, Francisco, how much fish and seafood makes moves annually in the
Annually,
annually? Yeah,
millions of kilos. I don't
millions
know.
of kilos. You're right. Yeah, it's 165,000 tons.
That's a lot of fish.
That gives you an idea, right, about the amount of fish that is moved in there. But we import as well from other countries, especially from Ireland. Ireland is a good supplier of seafood and shellfish to Spain as well. Also, we have the people that they are sailing constantly in North Atlantic. But now we have uh, you know, like quotas, okay, of the European Union. Have you ever
Oh,
heard
okay,
about that?
okay. So let's talk about the quotas. In Spain, in Europe, we have very strong directives and everything is regulated. And the quotas in fishing is one of the big, huge things. You just said at the beginning of this talk that we are the third or the fourth largest catchers, fishermen in the world.
Hmm.
And the European regulation is very, very strong about the quantity we can fish of each one of the species and what species we can fish, what species we cannot fish, and all of this. So the regulations are super complicated and really it's and the regulations are complicated. Then you have all the sanitary regulations
Yeah, that's right.
that they come from the European central government, but also the Spanish health regulations are even
Authorities.
more strict.
Yeah.
We do have watchers in all of these markets, making sure that everything is, preserved in the right temperatures and designed perfectly. So there's so much regulations. What about the quotas, Jorge? How much and what species can we fish?
Well, as I mentioned before, Spain has been for a long time one of the world's biggest players in the fishing industry. Okay. As I said, in the year 2021, the third in the whole world with a fleet of almost 9,000 boats. Okay. And we were ranked in the top three, right? But the fishing industry brought in that year 2.4 billion euros
Wow.
into Spanish economy. That was a 5% more than the previous year. Okay, so that was the quota. It was augmented by the European Union, and now they are starting negotiating again with people in the. One thing is Europe as a continent, and the other thing is the European Union. Okay, so what happened? Norway, as far as I know, is not part of the European Union,
Uh-huh.
but it is in Europe. So what happens in the North Atlantic, the cod fish, which is very important for many countries, like for instance Portugal, and then if we go to the south, we go to the Moroccan fish banks, which are extremely rich, especially in mackerel, sea bass, and that kind of fish. So what happens is that Spain is negotiating individually inside of the frames of the European directives those quotas. So one year they could move up or it could move down. It doesn't depend on the demand. It depends on here is where the politics start playing. If Morocco wants something from the European Union, which is the country or the door from Morocco to the European Union? Spain.
Spain.
I mean, in Norway, it could happen more or less the same. I'm not very much updated about how
Mhm.
Norway works with that. Iceland is another hotspot for cold waters fishes, you know.
Mhm.
And so, to be honest, I am not very much familiarized with that type of market in between the neighbor countries that they are into the that part of Europe. Now, there is something here that I need to talk about, which is the working forces.
Well, the thing is that what you're saying, to me, it's strong because it's a lot of hard
Yeah,
work. I mean,
very hard. Yeah,
fishing is very hard. Then the market, you have to move how many millions you said fish a year? I mean,
uh,
this is
zillions.
a zillion million fishes around, and this one has to go in this box to this, and this one with this. I mean, this the hand labor for this. It's you said there's 45,000 people
Yeah,
working in Mercamadrid
yeah.
just in the fish market.
No. 45,000 in the entire
Oh, okay, in the
Madrid
whole market.
complex. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, 45,000. But especially the fish is heavy. I mean, you cannot carry a
yeah,
tuna. I
yeah.
cannot carry a tuna on my back. With
I
like,
know tuna
wow.
is much bigger than many people might believe. Tuna can
Yes.
weight. I mean, a small one easily can be 100 pounds.
That's
And that's a small
huge.
one.
So you need a lot of physical demand. I mean,
Yeah.
I assume there's not too many elderly people working because your back is going to hurt. There's not going to be a lot of women because
Well, there is
physically,
a lot of veterans over there that they know their job, you know. But
okay,
yeah, but you just mentioned a word, women,
girls,
women,
women.
girls. That's right. It has been a very, mm, you know, let me tell you a little bit of history about that. We had that market before it was as big as it is now. I'm talking about the fish section, okay?
Mhm.
Before the full democracy got into Spain. That was in the early 80s. We talked about that in many of our podcasts. Well, that worked because it had to work. People had to eat, and they had to. The suppliers they had to buy the food somewhere, and they decided to make that space. But it was in 1982 the then mayor of Madrid, Enrique Tierno Garban, that was his name. It was in 1982 when it was established under the name as it actually holds now, Merca Madrid. And well, back in the early days, it was rare to see women working in the industry, and those who did were often met with a lot of skepticism. Okay, those who did were in the business was long considered like a male domain work, but obviously times have changed, and today women make up to 20% of the market's workforce. And hold on to your chair, Francisco. 15% of them are holding leadership positions.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. And I still see that number very low. But hey, it is 15% in leading position in a fish industry. Wow.
it is
To
male
me,
dominated.
oh, that's
Yes,
right. That's right. And also, this is something they have to keep in mind that the Trade Association Government Board is now equally split between men and women. And for the first time, it is the president is a woman.
it's a girl. Well,
Yeah,
good. Congratulations. To
yeah.
me, all of these equality things, obviously, we cannot generalize, but by tradition, at least here in Spain, the fishermen are the ones going into the ocean. Okay.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean that women wouldn't do anything in the fish industry because once the men would bring the catch, the women, they were going to be the ones taking care of the nets, taking care of the fish,
True.
clean
That's a
the. So
tradition. That's a
that's the
tradition.
by natural tradition. That's what we do here in
Yeah.
Spain. But hey, I'm super happy that now the bosses are
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
So hey, good
Hmm.
for them.
There's another thing I want to mention that, I mean, we are now, at least I am, sometimes I feel like overwhelmed and overloaded with this generational change. I mean, new technologies. Okay. So, this generational change is another key element shaping, under my opinion, the future of America Madrid. Younger workers are entering the industry with fresh ideas, fresh fish, fresh ideas. You get it?
Ah, you're so funny. Okay,
And
that's
in
not a very
fact,
good one. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, the fact is that they're questioning the long-standing business practices and pushing for innovation in digital sales and e-commerce. The rise of online seafood sales are, or I better say, has allowed Merck Madrid to expand its reach far beyond Madrid itself, enabling it to trade with business across the entire world.
Wow.
Now, another thing that technology and innovation is playing a key role is in keeping the seafood fresh, Francisco. That is a priority. And Merca Madrid has a very serious issue with it. And the technology behind it is absolutely incredible. I mean, in the docks where they are, the what
Hold
what
it,
they,
hold it,
what
hold it,
they,
hold it, hold it, hold it.
yeah.
Docks? What do you mean docks? To me, the docks
Oh,
are in the ocean and the sea. It's like there are no docks
okay.
inside
Good
of
point. Good point.
land.
Thank
That
you
sounds
for
weird to me.
thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that because you're totally right. We call them here dry docks.
Dry docks.
That's
Okay.
right. Makes sense in a way. Okay, makes
Strange
sense in a
way.
way. So when the trucks they arrive, whether it came by plane from the airport, whether it came by road from the different coastline, when they arrive to those dry docks, you
Okay.
know the priority is that the fish always stay fresh, and the technology behind is, I have to tell you, the second time I went there it was just pre-pandemic, okay, and the into the fish section, okay, and well, I remember seeing the massive tanks filled with seawater used to store different types of fish and shellfish, especially species imported from or caught in the chilly waters of the North Atlantic. The cold temperatures help maintain the quality of the seafood. In that way, the customers are going to receive a fresh product.
Gosh.
Okay.
But Jorge,
Yeah.
I, in food, there are all of these trends.
Oh,
Suddenly
yeah.
is
Obviously.
pistachios. Suddenly is chia seeds. Suddenly it's, what about fish? Do you have trends in fish consumption? 'Cause when I was a kid, I remember at home we ate a lot of trout,
Yeah,
which is a river fish, but now there's barely no trout. So I think our food has changed.
it has. And it depends on the time of the year. Because, Christmas for us
Okay.
is very, very important. And it shows, it's not a matter of showing off. It's a matter of, hey, it is one time a year. Why not to buy special shellfish and seafood for our one of the meals, whether it is either New Year's or the day
Christmas
after New
Eve.
Year's Eve, Christmas Day, Christmas dinner, especially, that is a must. At least a good plate of langostinos at the table.
Oh,
That is a must. But anyway, can you believe, Francisco, that's well, Madrid is a place to be for any of these species, but there is in the recent years there is the Norwegian scray cod.
okay, but
Yep,
that's the fancy
and
codfish that
and
we have now.
it's a seasonal delicacy that is in very high demand. Now there is a lot of fish farming going nowadays, but
Mhm.
I have to tell you that cod is still up until today. We don't know what's going to happen up until tomorrow. You can farm mussels, you can farm sea breams, you
Mhm.
can farm oysters if you want to, but cod, salmons, including salmons, you can farm them.
Yeah.
Okay, but cod is one of those fishes that they still cannot farm them. They haven't
Okay.
found the way to farm them, so it is seasonal. And this scray, Norwegian scray, cod, is a fancy thing which is just in season.
Yeah.
And the demand is so high. And also, I mean, this Merca Madrid supplies a huge range of seafood, including Moroccan turbot, Galician sea bass, as I mentioned
Okay.
a few moments ago, and massive, 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 something that you mentioned before, tunas.
Okay. Tuna.
Coming,
Oh,
coming where from? Make a
from
guess.
Cadiz.
Correct. Bingo.
Correct. Okay, so Spain,
Yeah.
all the way at the end, we have Gibraltar, and it's the Strait of Gibraltar, where
Yeah.
tuna have to come into the Mediterranean and comes out of the Mediterranean. That's the fishing
That's
place.
right. And that's one of the premium specialities coming from Cadiz. That is a family there is being dedicated for generations to the cut of tuna fish in the traditional way, not nets. Okay, it's
Yeah,
just to be
it's the
just by hand,
fishing.
one by one. And they specialize in premium fish like red porgy, dentex, sea bream, and they cater them to high-end restaurants and seafood lovers alike, like specialized Michelin stars hotels, restaurants
Restaurant.
that they have maybe, or five stars hotels that they have trendy, fancy restaurants inside. Well,
I'm getting
what I'm
hungry,
trying to
my
say, yeah.
friend. Stop talking about all of these goodies, for God's sakes.
You know, even in this Merca Madrid, there is another trend that is aquaculture.
What is that?
And this aquaculture is with wild fish stocks under pressure. Many in the industry see that fish farming is absolutely the future. So seaweed is also
Oh,
gaining
okay.
traction, especially varieties hand harvested from Galicia estuaries or cultivated in the salt marshes of Huelva, west of Cadiz, Francisco. Okay.
Okay, so yes, there's a trend in food.
Yeah. And, you know, there is a lot of experts now that they believe that integrating seaweed farming with fish aquaculture can reduce fish stress levels and promote sustainable seafood production.
Well, that's good.
So,
Good to know that we're taking care of our oceans. And here in Spain, we're trying to do the best we can with recycling and having everything to have the cleanest oceans that we can. I know it's very
yeah.
complicated, it's a very
Right.
huge thing around the world. But as we are one of the biggest consumers of fish in the world, we need to make sure that what we put in our bodies is healthy. So
Yeah.
we are in Spain, as we said, Merca Madrid is specialized in all of these health security. Let's make sure that everything it's perfect and it goes directly into the consumer as fresh as possible. So yeah,
Hmm.
they do an amazing job with all of that.
You know, Francisco, just when we do our brainstorming regarding what themes we're going to talk about, et cetera, when we thought about making this one, I have a very close friend that he works in Mercado Madrid, but in the veggie section.
Yeah.
And he's been working there for maybe 30 years. So not so long ago, I called him and I said, hey, you think I could go with you one day? You could take me around and this and that. And I said, sure, why not? Just pay your fee and I'll see if I can get you a guest pass and you don't have to pay anything. I said, oh, good, because I'm gonna take my gimbal and record and
There we
take
go. You
photos.
need to do a
And then he said,
broadcast.
no, you
Oh,
cannot do that. I said, what do you mean? No, 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 no. You cannot. I mean, even we are not allowed to take photos. We're not allowed to take photos unless it's going to be to promote in a wholesaler world your
okay.
products, not to the general public. So for that, you will need to
Wow.
write permission to the authorities, and you have like 90% chances that they will
Like he's
push,
gonna say no.
push it back. So don't waste your time. I said, oh, what a shame, because it could have been ideal
It would
to
be
put some,
amazing to see
yeah,
how Merca
amazing,
Madrid
yeah,
looks in the fish
yeah.
part. Oh, I
Because
would
as I
love.
said, I've been there a couple of
I
times, and
haven't.
it is just, I mean, when you just cross, how can I say? Imagine airplane hangars like
Awful.
triple the size of that, or four times the hangar of a huge big airliner, right? And then suddenly, of course, the smell is not bad smell; it's just
No, no,
fish,
it's fish smell.
it's fish smell. But then you see all these tanks, you see all these people, all that stands all over, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Oh my God, that is just crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yes.
And but guess what, Francisco? By 7 a.m.,
It's
everything is
closed.
done.
It's sold.
Everything is done. Even if it's not sold, if some people have they haven't sold their entire amount of products, they keep it for the day after. They have their freezers, and they can put it for sale the following day. I mean, they're very strict on that, and they keep on track. We know with all these
Okay.
technologies and QR codes, they tag your fishes, etc., etc. So what happened? They seal the boxes for the following day. But at 7 a.m., everything is closed. There are people just washing all the alleys in between the stalls and the fish tanks and everything. And that is when the office work starts at 7 a.m. Can you believe that?
Wow. I mean, that people really work hard.
They work until 3, 4 p.m., more or less. And then from 5 p.m. is when there is another team of workers that they are, and this is not only just in the fish section, but on the entire Merca Madrid. There is when the afternoon, evening staff or shift goes in because they're going to receive all the merchandise.
All goods.
So it's a 24-hour thing.
The logistics in this place has to be beautiful.
24/7. No, I'm lying here, not in purpose.
When do they close?
They close the night from the Saturday to the Sunday.
Okay, so they close from Saturday to Sunday.
That's right, because Sunday is supposed to be the resting day for farming, for fishing, etc., etc. So then it starts again on Sunday early evening is when it starts again, all the entire process until Saturday morning when they close.
Jorge, I have learned so much on this podcast. I had no idea how.
Madrid
is important, but not this important. So
no, it is a world on its own. It's like a little city, 45,000 people working there.
It's a great place. I mean,
just imagine. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we cannot see it. We cannot take tourists to see it, but we can do something even better than that. We can
eat it.
The product from Merca Madrid. So
right.
If our listeners want to taste some of these amazing delicacies that come from Merca Madrid, they can do two things. One, check your website, which is travelingwithjorge.com, or check my website, which is travelingsteps.es. Check our tours.
And I have to say here, sorry to interrupt you, that Francisco, in your tour of the Santiago de Compostela and your Basque staycation, you go to some beautiful restaurants, and the Basque Country is known that fish in the Basque Country, especially on the coastal areas, is a second religion, isn't it?
It is. But hey, come on, what? Yes, on my tours, food is important, fish is important, but what about yours? Come on.
Yeah,
you have some of the best pescadito frito. You have
fried fish. Yeah, of course.
I need some of fish right now. Okay, Jorge. I don't know if you have anything else to say. If not,
no, that's fine for me. I think I said more than enough today.
Well, it's been an amazing learning experience today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To our listeners, thanks for staying with us. Please give us a like to this podcast.
Yeah, please subscribe, share, everything.
The whole thing. We love you. We shall see you next week. Jorge, gracias.
Thank you, Francisco, and everybody else. Bye-bye. Adios, Fran.
Adios, Jorge.
As usual, we want to thank all our listeners for being there every week, letting us sharing our talks. Follow us in Spanish Loops in Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite platform.
And in Instagram, you can find us as the Spanish Loops Podcast, no spaces, all together. If you want to find us the quickest way, just Google Spanish Loops Podcast and you will find us. Hasta la vista, amigos.
See you next week.